Is it going to be like
Cleetus
the Freedom
McFarland.
Factory?
So basically, Matt
Freedom
Tift, you're
Factory?
doing what Cleetus
Freedom
McFarland
Factory?
did with his track, or
Factory?
similar to it here in Ohio.
Didn't think the
Freedom
guy back in
Factory.
Florida had a
Freedom
chance of
Factory?
success, but he is killing
Freedom
it.
Factory.
All right, guys, I see all your Cleetus comments in the chat. Why don't we break this down? Because this is Mansfield. Let's get into what we are doing here at our racetrack by first saying what's different. Now, I want to start by saying for decades, and I mean decades, racetracks across the entire country have ran their own races, their own ways of doing it. But guess what? At the same time, there's still late models, modifieds, sprint cars, sportsmen, whatever. So in 2025, 2026, guess what? We can still have a racetrack and not be a copy of somewhere else. I really, really want to first and foremost say I admire what Garrett has done with the Freedom Factory. I think it's awesome. I think it's badass. I love what he's done. I've reached out to him, connected for a second. And I hope someday we can do some event here with him, whether it's Cleetus and Cars or do some joint collaboration on a video here together. But I just want to tell you guys that we are not trying to be a copycat of anything. There's only so many things, though, that you can do in the motorsports realm. But we are so excited to build our own legacy here at the Mansfield Speedway. But I do want to say that I have invited him to come up here to the track. We would absolutely love that. Obviously a little bit different here with us being a dirt track compared to his asphalt track. So it could be a fun event, but we definitely would love to have him up here for another track another younger guy is creating. I mean, motorsports, let's be honest, it's not exactly the biggest thing on the rise. So we've got to all work together in this, and what he has done, how busy this guy is making his ARCA career, his NASCAR career happen, and what we are doing here, they are in the same realm, and I get that, but we are each trying to make our own unique brands, but we are still here absolutely to do a collab at some time. It would be freaking awesome. So let's talk about some similarities and differences of Mansfield Speedway and the Freedom Factory. First biggest difference. Behind me here, Leon, can you please tell the viewers what surface this is?
This is dirt.
This is dirt. Very good. So that's number one. Let's talk about a similarity. Behind me here, in the middle, is going to be a skid pad, burnout pad. But mine's gonna be asphalt, his is concrete. I'll probably have to redo mine to be concrete at some point, but for now, it's gonna be asphalt, his will be concrete. Next week, we're actually coming through here and knocking out all the walls, so this beautiful, big, open infield area will be able to be used for drift events, car events, that kind of stuff. Okay, let's talk about some other differences here. Our racetrack will have large sanction events like World of Outlaws, Lucas Oil Sprint Cars, those kind of events that right now the Freedom Factory, they are having big late model races on asphalt, but two completely different fan bases. And so that kind of makes us unique, that this is a dirt track. We do draw from a different crowd, and we're trying to be our own thing from that side. All right, let's talk about another difference. We are going to have community and holiday events. This will be a haunted racetrack. This will be a Christmas lights track. So big things to draw from the state of Ohio and other people, Indiana, Michigan, to come in here and have a completely different non-racing event at the Mansfield Speedway. We're so excited about that. Kind of taking a page out of, Charlotte Motor Speedway, Bristol Motor Speedway's book on the Christmas side of things. But then for the haunted racetrack side, a little bit of the Cedar Point's Hollow Weekends, Universal Halloween Horror Nights. We want to have stuff like that here at the Mansfield Speedway. Also, on top of that, we do have the capability of maybe someday, this is not confirmed, but just the idea to bring NASCAR back here at the Mansfield Speedway. Could be trucks, could be ARCA, could be, East Series or whatever it might be, but we do have that possibility. This was a NASCAR venue. It was a NASCAR track. We can put temporary seating back in here. So things like that we can do. Also, with our Jumbotron that's going on the back straightaway, we are able to do big events like country concerts and different festivals that can utilize that. So just all kinds of things that we're thinking a little bit more traditional venue, if you will, where those guys have done an incredible job on the resurrection of the DeSoto Speedway, now the Freedom Factory, but kind of being more on the influencer side, their Crown Vic races, things like that. We may have some events that are similar, but by no means is it trying to replicate what they've done. It'll be our own spin.
Just a little sneak peek of the progress in the ticket booth. We've completely, in a way, replaced the floor and put down these beautiful soft tiles. It's looking so much better than it used to.
Holy
Now, as many of you know, the Honda Accord has not been loved in the last week or so, and it has a pretty dirty engine bay. So what we're going to be doing actually is cleaning it with GUNK Foamy Engine Cleaner, and just wait for the results. As you can see, the engine is back to being absolutely brand new, and there's no other product that we choose to clean it with other than the GUNK Foamy Engine Cleaner. Of course, this isn't the only product that GUNK sells, so please go check out the entire other lineup of beautiful products GUNK has to offer.
All right, so one of the big things that we're going to have here is some really, really big dirt shows. I'm talking some of the biggest sanctioning bodies in the country coming here next year. We've already just about gotten buttoned up with our first one for the late models. We're working on the sprint cars as well to bring 2 super weekends here as far as the dirt racing goes. So really looking forward to that. I will also be putting in a rule where they have only sleeves off, we only have sleeves on I'm just kidding. It's hot as hell out here today. I wish I had no sleeves on today. All right, now similarly here, we will be having spectator drags. Obviously a bit different on the dirt, but for our gridlock nights, we will have them inside of our pavement area of the racetrack to have those to bring your car out here and race, which will be super fun. But a little bit different here is as we're sitting on the hillside, not only will you be watching races here, but you will see large-scale concerts, festivals. Some things that used to be at the track were food chili cook-offs, big fireworks night for the 4th of July. So many people have told me that that was their big childhood thing to come here for the 4th of July fireworks. So that's going to be coming back. We know the town council and the government stuff is so excited for that to come back here. So that's going to be some really cool stuff that comes back. That it's a bit more than just the racing, just the craziness, just the chaos, is to bring people in for those food truck nights and firework nights, and might be arts and crafts fair type of a thing in there as well. So we're really looking forward to having a big wide array of events here that separate us a little bit. And one of the things here at our track is we're going to focus on super weekends. And when you guys ask me what classes are going to run here, the cool thing that we're going to be doing is having a big array of classes throughout the year. But we're going to be doing it in a different way where it's not like a local short track that runs, the same 4 or 5 classes every single weekend. We're going to build it into where we have a big late model style weekend on here. We have a big open wheel weekend here with, say, the modifies, the USAC cars, the sprint cars, that kind of a deal. We also want to have a big truck weekend here. I want the entire concourse filled with big lifted trucks, slam down trucks, old school trucks, new trucks, whatever. I want to have it in the back where we got some truck hill climbs, we got some mud bogging going back there. And if you've ever seen those big rig trucks that race on dirt tracks, I want to see that here at Mansfield Speedway too, all across 3 days. So part of that too is making it to where they're giant camping weekends. We have so much room in the back for camping, but to where, whether you're a fan of a certain series or you're just a big truck fan, you come here and you think, wow, this is so cool, we get to go do this. But on the same page there, looking at bikes, we want to have a big bike weekend here, big bike rallies, motocross track in the back, those kind of things, flat track racing here. So those are ways we're making this place just a little bit different by making them kind of super big fan weekends rather than the same 4 or 5 classes the entire year. We're going to have those, just make big events of them throughout the season. And then, of course, one of the coolest things we're going to have going on here is right where we are sitting, the old area where they carved out the quarter-mile drag strip. This is going to be the future site of our motocross track. And let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. We're driving a side-by-side, and we thought, how cool would it be to have some amateur and pro side-by-side races here? Bring your RZR out, whatever you got, come have some fun on a weekend, whether it's an open ride or, a sanctioned race on there, to come drive one of these bad boys out at the Mansfield Speedway. So you don't necessarily have to have an $80,000 race car to come here. How about just come play with one of these and check some things out here? I want to give a huge shout out to the first member of the Founders Club, Mr. Kurt Wentzell. Thank you so much for your support. And guys, if you want to go support the track but are not necessarily sponsored, check out mansfieldspeedway.com, SPDWY, and we have a whole array of support amounts that you can do on there. So check that out. But thank you, Kurt. You are the man. Really appreciate it, and can't wait to see you out here next year.